Guitario is an online music lesson platform for guitar and music theory. They have a ton of lessons to choose from. You can learn rhythm work, lead work, blues, rock, fingerstyle. I've already had a number of you sign up and say that you really enjoyed it, so if any of you are thinking about it, please go ahead, take advantage of the 7-day free trial, no credit card required. Go to www.guitario.com/becomethenight so that they know that I sent you. And then even a weeb like you can play Wonderwall and get all the chicks. Hey guys, it is Mike with Become the Night. Welcome back to another Song Suggestion Friday. This is the show where you guys put your suggestions for songs you would like my feedback on in the comments below. If you would like to know the rules, the best way possible in order for your suggestions to get to my ears, please follow the video in the description. If you've already posted your suggestion, I don't know, maybe you're not going to get it picked. Maybe you should check out the rules video first, you know? As crazy as that sounds. And for those of you who just come, post your suggestion, and leave, this is my ultimate fuck you to you. I don't care how big of a fan you are, you're clearly not that big of a fan, so get fucked, and thanks for ruining my watch time, you pissant. A couple quick call outs. I am offering guitar lessons. If you are interested in guitar lessons, please email me, becomethenight@gmail.com. I still do have some spots available. Also, if you like what I do on this channel, please support me on Patreon. That actually bumps you up in priority for your suggestions in Song Suggestion Friday. All right, enough babble. Let's get into it. Ah, shit. All right, all of Japan, forgive me. The song is Kasumi by the band Eir Aoi. I swear to God, I think it's Aoi. I dig the light grit in the guitar tone. Have some nice chord colors in the intro. Definitely some major seconds against minor thirds. Some of my favorite shit. I guess it could be an add 9. I didn't listen that closely. And then the pop rock comes in with the 4 chords. I do dig the movement of the bass. I really like her voice a lot. This song is very recycled compositionally. I will say the rhythm of the vocal melody in the chorus, very catchy. And then doing the pop 4 chords thing and then going back through, and instead of going down to the parallel major, we go straight to our flat 7. And then that goes to the first inversion of our dominant 5. That is my weakness. The guitar tone matches the bass well. Piano is a nice touch. I believe that comes later in the song. Thank God the drums are actually interesting. All in all, I think it's a decent song. It's bouncy and fun for the most part, with some darker harmonies in the bridge. And the bridge is kind of a nice separation from this overall feeling we've been basically stewing in for most of the rest of the song. My biggest complaint is it just kind of feels done before, even by J-Rock standards. Total grade for this song, =. Fuck, I had to put the 2 most hard to pronounce songs next to each other. La Leyenda del Hada y el Mago by Rata Blanca. This singer reminds me a lot of the band Agora. The intro is a minor 1 against a flat 6 or a major 6 in the minor perspective. Already has me interested, even if I hate it. And then we go to a gallop on the drums, and then the metal chug on the guitar. That kind of 6/8 battle feel. I like the vocal melody. The mix feels stuffy, if that makes any sense. It's not terrible, just definitely not perfect. Vocals are a little buried under the synthesizer. We have our first Yngwie shred happening at 108, and boy does that continue later in the song. I'm just gonna skip ahead to the second solo just because the rest of it's kind of, I've already talked about it. It was pretty cool. It was very good for a neoclassical shred type of feel. It's kind of been done 1,000 times, and like the guy's tone and articulation is like spot on Yngwie. Like I've literally heard every one of these things in another Yngwie solo before. It comes off as more of a ripoff than anything else, so would not be surprised if he actually had the Yngwie signature from Fender. This is not to diss the guy, obviously he's insanely talented and he put a lot of work into it, but I mean, unless that is Yngwie, if that's fucking Yngwie, then duh. But yeah, I mean, like, it's been done before. It's amazing, love to see it live, but like, do I want to listen to it on a record? Like, I've been there. Neoclassical power metal. It is cool to me. The synthesizer in the song could use a lot more than padding. The drums are interesting enough. Typically I complain about the excess double kick, but in this instance I actually felt it was appropriate. Total grade for this song, =. The Walls of Babylon by Symphony X. There's a nice padded intro with like a part of that synthesizer layering was like, I don't know, I can only describe it as like a metallic sound kind of between 3K and 5K type of dominant frequencies. We also have some female ahs, and then we have a a fade in of this riff that I really dig. I'm also digging the drums over that part. I do not like the fake choir sounds. It's 2007 when you released this, dude. Like, unless this is rehashing some of your old shit that you had already recorded back in like the 90s, like, we can do better. It might also be the fact of how it was mixed and how they tried to plug the samples in, because it just didn't feel natural. The immediate cutoff of the release and the immediate come in of the attack just felt very weird. They go through 4 different drum feels over the same guitar riff. I actually thought that was pretty cool. This whole feel reminds me a lot of mid-2000s Dream Theater. I really at some point need to make a video about comparing Symphony X to Dream Theater and my thoughts on that. This is not exactly the same as Dream Theater, but it's so fucking close. Like, if you told me this was from Octavarium, but it was a left out track that was never finished because they didn't like the song, I might buy it. 213, we got a really cool synth solo. Love the feel at 310, brings the bass tone out significantly. It's a nice tone, by the way. The vocals are really good. I think his lower vocal, where it's more full, and he's actually, I think, a little bit more expressive and there's a little grit in there, I think that's kick-ass. His higher vocals, maybe a little much for me, but I do feel like it's appropriate for the mood. The pre-chorus is a complete rip-off of Painkiller down to the vocals. The chorus is not catchy at all and kind of feels out of place in a sense, and feels more like a transitory type of idea, but I think that was probably on purpose. The guitar solo was very intense. The keyboard solo, I think, was unnecessary. It wasn't a bad solo, but I mean, the song's already fucking long as it is. It's like 8-minute song, which, okay, bitch at me some more about how the prog head is talking about how songs are too long. The intro itself was already getting a little bit far up its ass and would have been more appropriate if this was just an instrumental, so we'd have that gradual development of the musical themes that were happening. But then that gradual development and then breaking into vocals later, it's just like, it just doesn't work for me. There definitely could have been some cutting here to drop it down 2 minutes or so. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Stuck by Leprous. My first impression was I thought this was their old shit. The guitar tone, very different from other stuff I've listened to of theirs. Not to mention, I mean, holy cow, the production seemed off. It wasn't bad, it just was a lot more mid-rangey and not as flat, if that makes any sense. But this is from 2017, so it's just their different sound, I suppose. I do like the guitar tone, it is interesting. Actually reminds me of my boys Lines in the Sky. Shout out to you, Jesse. The vocals are amazing. Of course, I've talked about the vocals multiple times. We're not gonna have to go there. Vocal melody and harmony on point. The verse and the chorus, and honestly just the whole song in general, far more mainstream than I was expecting. Chorus is great, by the way. Very catchy. The melody gets me right where it needs to get me. At 2:48, we come to the post-chorus. I love the feel there at the post-chorus. Leads into a great, simple guitar lead that perfectly mimics what the vocal melody was doing prior. And then we're back to a chorus immediately following a chorus. Did Leprous just become a pop band?
It's right, so it's chorus, chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, kinda. Chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, 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 finale, chorus. It's all chorus. Don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Don't bore us, we get to the chorus.
Hit lessons.
You know what?
101.
4:45, we begin our bridge with an unexpected string quartet. Fell in love, not only with the timbre and the articulation and not the dynamics that were happening between all of the instruments, but just the chord progression itself. Not a complicated chord progression, but just touched you right where it needed to touch you. This locked it in at this moment for me. This is an excellent example of prog doing pop better. I had taken sections from other prog bands that I love in order to say, like, hey, this is the pop 4 chords and blah, 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 blah. This is less clickbaity and more accurate to the example. I think I might actually have to do a video for this. If any of you actual fans who watch this would like to see that, please let me know below. Before that bridge, I would have said equal sign, but total grade for this song, plus sign. Human Murmuration by Archspire, or Archspire, or something to that degree. I don't know. I give up on speaking English. It's fucking Thanksgiving when I'm recording this. I've already had a lot of whiskey to drink. I don't really give a shit. Cool intro production with the guitar filter and panning kind of taking things all over the place. The bass part and the tone very complementary to what was happening. Normally, I despise these types of vocals, but they were so fucking killer with the riffs throughout. At the verse, it almost sounded like he was rapping with how quick and his starts and stops and his accents on certain vowels and consonants. Like, damn, the guy was on fucking point. This is without a doubt tech death. It's like if Death Clock did way too much cocaine. Ridiculous musicianship from everyone. At 146, the vocals are hilarious. I'm pretty sure, if I'm hearing it correctly, he's doing the breathe in type of growls instead of the push out. And it just sounded hilarious, contrasted to what I just listened to. Like, I kind of lost it. The speed of that drummer is ridiculous. He has to be triggering samples. The rests of all of the different instrument parts throughout this song to give it its groove are, I think, the bottom line of why I like this much more than most other tech death. At 252, I lost my shit because it was just kind of like a random explosion of sound, and the vocals were like way higher register of a growl, and it was just like, what the fuck is happening? It was over the top in the best way possible. This type of music is usually way too much for me, but every part felt so appropriate next to each other and also very dynamic from the part that came before it. Not to mention the groove I had already mentioned. I have to like it. These guys are completely unafraid to be themselves, and you know what? Good on you, man. Well done. Total grade for this song, +. Baker Street by Gerry Rafferty. Someone really asked for this. During the intro, my balls receded into my body cavity. Then the saxophone comes in and you're like, oh, it's this song. I guarantee if you are a human above the age of 10 years old, you know what song this is. Very iconic. The melody is great, but the performance is what makes that part. It's like your soul is screaming. And I would say literally fuck every other part of this song. All these soft fucking wimpy bullshit castrated parts contrasted against this soul screaming sucks. The vocals are okay, I guess you could say. The counterpoint of the percussion, guitar, and piano against each other are okay. But be prepared to only hear that for the remainder of the song. Oh, I guess you do have the bridge and the outro, which are so fucking dynamic in comparison. Why not just make this track 30 seconds of just that saxophone part? Honestly, like, that's all anyone knows anyway, because Gerry Rafferty's so fucking good at what he does. 100%. I don't understand the appeal of Gerry Rafferty at all. What should have happened, the producer takes a recording of that saxophone part, steals it so that Gerry Rafferty can't have it, hands it to Michael McDonald so he can actually do some good vocals and composition in contrast to it, and then it becomes a 4-minute song as opposed to a 6-minute drag that is this fucking ridiculous piece of lameness. Only because of that saxophone part. Total grade for this song, +. Soldier of Fortune by Deep Purple. The intro is nice, very clean and touching. It's kind of like Deep Purple doing some folk. I like it. I actually really like the vocals. Typically, I would not like that type of inflection, but with the timbre of his voice, right on, I dig it. It also fits the mood very well. At 44 seconds, our drums come in, and I really wish they were a lot more minimalist. The whole feel of the song is very moody, very airy, kind of ethereal, and then the kick in the snare and the consistent hi-hat ground us too much. It brings us back down to earth. It's like, let me float away. Don't tear me down from my heady emotions. It brings it down too far for me. The melody is very nice. The lead guitar in the intro and throughout this, very poignant. Nothing crazy here, to be honest, just very good articulation on the vocals and guitar. Touch of organ near the end is very good. If the drums and bass weren't written and played so deliberately, I would give this a +. But total grade for this song, =. Enigma by Within the Ruins. Wow, the tone. The lower notes feel like they are struggling to be properly processed through all the distortion that they have going on, and it feels like the higher notes in the register are much more fuller, and the lower notes are full of very sharp distortion. Whoops, grabbed my hair. And aren't nice and round like a periphery tone. I am not saying this is a bad thing, I'm just making an observation. Then we have the typical tech death kind of skippy thing with the guitar chugs and the kick, and then that's also followed up by more kick skips with some legato parts on the guitar. I mean, it's been done before. It's cool enough, just like, okay, what else do we have? The editing to make a uniform attack on some of the unison notes that follow one another, it's interesting. It already feels pretty video gamey, and that reinforces it, and given the themes that were happening throughout the song, obviously that's intentional. That could be bothersome to some. Didn't bother me that much because I know this is just a studio production. Like, obviously you cannot do that live. It's kind of a fun composition with an angry instrumentation. I could see the song being redone by an Austrian folk band and people dancing. It was at 1:23 that I recognized the ripoff of the Mario theme, like the classic Mario theme. And then I was writing, if this is supposed to be an homage for video games or other stuff, then I'm missing all of it. Immediately followed by the Inspector Gadget theme coming in. So I was like, okay. I know there's some themes in here that I recognize. I can't pinpoint them right now. So I'm assuming this is just an homage to a bunch of shit from the 80s that they really enjoyed. That's all well and cool, and I get that. What really bothers me is the arrangement. It just all feels like it's been done before. It feels a little predictable or recycled. It's definitely not bad. I've just heard it a million times before. Total grade for this song, =. My suggestion for you this week is Let Her Go by Within Temptation. My brother has been trying to get me to listen to this band forever, and I think last week I finally listened to them with him on the phone. This is actually a cover song of some other fucking bitchy ass pussy band who did it before, and Within Temptation, I think, much more embodied the lyrics with a musical styling than the original band. The original band was too far cut up its own fucking indie rock ass in order to really appreciate the moodiness of this song, and Within Temptation is emo as fuck. I'm not actually an emo band, like they're not whiny and bitchy, they are very much symphonic metal, not really neoclassical, like truly symphonic. That is it for Song Suggestion Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy fucking Thanksgiving to all of you, and I'm really happy that you guys are my fans. Like, no bullshit, I'm really happy that I do have you guys as fans. I am extraordinarily thankful for that. I don't know why you guys watch. I don't get it, but I just keep doing what I do, and I try and learn from you guys in the comments, and I'm very flattered and humbled to hear that you guys learn from me as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on.